Travels of Marco Polo, Chapter 29, of the province of Balashan, the precious stones found there, and the dress the women wear. In the province of Balashan, or Badakhshan, the people are Mahometans, and have their peculiar language. It is an extensive kingdom, being in length full 12 days' journey, and is governed by princes, in hereditary succession, who are all descended from Alexander by the daughter of Darius, king of the Persians. All these have borne the title in the Saracenic tongue of Zulkarnain, which is the equivalent of Alexander. In this country are found the precious stones called balas rubies, of fine quality and great value, and so called from the name of the province. They are embedded in the high mountains, but are sought for only in one named Sekenan. In this, the king causes mines to be worked in the same manner as for gold or silver, and through this channel alone they are obtained, no person daring under pain of death to make an excavation for the purpose, unless as a special favor he obtains his majesty's permission. Occasionally the king gives them as presents to strangers who pass through his dominions, as they cannot be purchased from others and cannot be exported without his permission. Since he believes his credit is dependent upon these rubies, his object in these restrictions is to keep them in high esteem and maintain their high price, for so great is their abundance, that if they could be dug for indiscriminately, and if everyone could purchase and carry them out of the kingdom, they would soon be of little value. Some he sends as gifts to other kings and princes, some he delivers as tribute to his superior lord, and some also he exchanges for gold and silver. These he allows to be exported. There are also mountains in which are found veins of lapis lazuli, the stone which yields the azure color, ultramarine, here the finest in the world. The mines of silver, copper, and lead are also very productive. It is a cold country. The horses bred here are of superior quality and have great speed. Their hoofs are so hard that they do not require shoeing. The natives are in the habit of galloping them down inclines, where other animals could not or would not venture to run. They say that not long ago there were still found in this province horses of the strain of Alexander's, celebrated Bucephalus, which were all foaled with a particular mark on the forehead. The whole of the breed was owned by one of the king's uncles, who, upon his refusal to yield them to his nephew, was put to death. Enraged by the murder, the widow then caused them all to be destroyed, and thus the race was lost to the world. In the mountains there are falcons of the species called saker, which are excellent birds and of strong flight, and plenty of lanners as well. There are also goshawks of a perfect kind, and sparrowhawks. The people of the country are expert at hunting both beasts and birds. Good wheat is grown here, and a species of barley without the husk. There is no oil of olives, but they press an oil from certain nuts and from the grain called sesame, which resembles the seed of flax, except that it is light-colored, and the oil this yields is better and has more flavor than any other. It is used by the Tartars and other inhabitants of these parts. In this kingdom there are many narrow passes and natural strong points which leave the inhabitants with little fear of any foreign power trying to invade them. The men are good archers and excellent sportsmen. They generally clothe themselves in the skins of wild animals, other materials for the purpose being scarce. The mountains afford pasture for innumerable sheep, which ramble about in flocks of 4, 5, and 600, all wild, and altogether many are taken and killed. There does not appear to be any lessening in their numbers. These mountains are so exceedingly lofty that it requires from morning till night to ascend to the top of them. Between them there are wide plains, clothed with grass and trees, and large streams of the purest water spurting through the clefts in the rocks. In these streams are trout and many other fine sorts of fish. On the summits of the mountains, the air is so pure and healthy that when those who dwell in the towns and in the plains and valleys below find themselves attacked with fevers or inflammations, they immediately take to the hills, remaining for 3 or 4 days, recover their health. Marco Polo affirms that he himself experienced its excellent effects, for having been confined by sickness in this country for nearly a year, he was advised to seek a change of air by ascending to the hills. There he soon got well. A peculiar fashion of dress prevails among the women of the upper class. They wear below their waists in the manner of drawers, a kind of garment in which they use, depending on their means, 80 or 60 ells of fine cotton cloth. This they gather or plait in order to increase the apparent size of their hips, the women with the bulkiest hips being considered the most handsome. Chapter 30 of the province of Paskia. Leaving Balashan and traveling in a southerly direction for 10 days, you reach the province of Paskia, the people of which have their own peculiar language. They worship idols, are of a dark complexion, and of evil disposition. They are skilled in the art of magic, and in the invocation of demons, a study to which they continually apply themselves. They wear in their ears pendant rings of gold and silver adorned with pearls and precious stones. The climate of the province is in some parts extremely hot. The food of the inhabitants is meat and rice. Chapter 31 of the province of Kashmir, and of its inhabitants who are skilled in magic, and of a class of hermits. Kashmir, is a province 7 days distant from Paskia. Its inhabitants also have their own peculiar language. They are adepts beyond all others in the art of magic. to such a degree that they can compel their idols, although dumb and deaf, to speak. They can likewise obscure the day and perform many other miracles. They are preeminent among the idolatrous nations, and from them come the idols worshipped in other parts. From this country there is communication by water with the Indian Sea. The natives are of a dark complexion, but by no means black, and the women, although dark, are very beautiful. Their food is meat with rice and other grains, yet they are in general of temperate habits. The climate is moderately warm. In this province, besides the capital, there are many other towns and strong places. There are also woods, desert tracts, and difficult passes in the mountains, which ensure inhabitants against invasion. Their king is not tributary to any power. They have among them a particular class of devotees who live in communities, observe strict abstinence in regard to eating, drinking, and the intercourse of the sexes, and refrain from every kind of sensual indulgence in order that they might not give offense to the idols whom they worship. These persons live to a considerable age. They have several monasteries in which certain superiors exercise the functions of abbots, and they are held in great reverence by the mass of the people. The natives of this country do not deprive any creature of life nor shed blood, but if they are inclined to eat meat, it is necessary that the Mahometans who reside among them should slay the animal. The coral that is brought here from Europe is sold at a higher price than in any other part of the world. If I were to proceed in the same direction, it would lead me to India, but I have judged it proper to reserve the description of that country for a third book, and shall therefore return to Balashan, intending to pursue from there the straight road to Cathay, southern China, and to describe, as has been done from the beginning of the work, not only the countries through which the route lies, but also those in its vicinity.